Hey guys, I'm Emily, and if you don't know me, now you do. I'm a professional mermaid, and today we are going to be talking about the best places to buy a mermaid tail. Now, if you want to get into mermaiding as like a hobby or as a job, the first step would be to find it somewhere to buy a tail. And for professional mermaids and adult tails, I suggest first getting a good fabric tail. You can get those from Mertailor, Mernation, I believe has some good ones, as well as Finfolk Productions. Those are three really good ones. They have a big variety of fabric tails that look really good. And they come in a range of sizes and styles. Now, if you want to invest in a silicone tail, which would be more realistic, like this one, you better be a pretty strong swimmer because this thing is quite heavy. It weighs about 30 pounds, and it was custom made to my exact measurements, so it fits me and only me. It is very snug and hard to get on, especially with the added weight, but it is neutrally buoyant, so when I put it on and get in the water with it, I don't sink like a stone. I helped Eric at who is also known as the Mertailor, design it myself. I chose the fluke shape, which is the big fin is called the fluke, and I chose the color. I also customized any fins, like pectoral fins, ankle fins, side fins, dorsal fins. I chose not to get any fins. And this tail cost me around $1,200, I believe. And that was without getting any extra fins. The only fin I got was the big fluke, and that one was kind of an important one. But yeah, if it's got neoprene on the inside, so it's wetsuit material, so it'll keep me warm. And then the rest is silicone on the outside. And I really love my tail, and I definitely want to get more. I want to get a good use out of this one first before I think about getting another silicone tail. Because while I've had this one for years, and I've gotten it repaired once, I'd kind of be sad to, retire it and get a new one. I want to make sure that I use it enough before I move on to a new tail, because these things are expensive. They can get really expensive depending on how customized you want it. So with silicone tails, you can get them from the Mernation. I got mine from Mertailor. And you can also get them from, you can find some cool ones on Etsy as well, which I find it great to support small businesses, but they're not very well known, and so I don't have any tails from them, so I can't attest to the quality of one from Etsy, but I can attest to the quality of one from Mertailor and the ones from Mernation and from Finfolk. Those are all really good tails, really good quality silicone tails, so you are definitely getting what you paid for. Now, Finfold Production also has a wide range of fabric tails, and so does Mertailor. And I haven't looked into it, but Mernation probably does as well. With both Finfold Productions and Mertailor, they sell a wide range of fabric tails with a bunch of different styles and colors, and they're all really good quality. And you can get extra fins. And as for their silicone tails, they are fully customizable when it comes to how many fins you want on them and the colors and their sizing. And then we've got Mernation, which is fully customizable silicone tails. So you can choose whatever design you want, as well as the color, the fluke shape. And you can all do it online, so you don't even have to go to a physical shop to get it done. You can do everything at home from online. I went to the Mertailor shop when I got my tail, but not everyone has the ability to do that. So it's good to have a place that you can go to online to get all that done. Now, if you want a fabric tail for, say, your kids, I would say the best starter tail would be, you could get one on AliExpress, but I can't attest to the quality except for one shop. I did buy one from AliExpress once, and it was pretty good quality, but the fabric, did seem quite fragile. Although the kids loved it. And so then there is FinFun, which has great quality tails. And there's a bunch of different styles, although they all are the same shape. They come in kid sizes and adult sizes. So if you want a tail just to have fun with, I'd go with FinFun because those fabric tails are much cheaper. And they are good quality. And there's also, I've gotten a tail from Magic Tail. I got my first mermaid tail ever from Magic Tail. And it was not the best quality, but it was also not the worst. I have seen much worse quality tails, and sorry if I'm letting you guys down, but the worst quality tails I have seen would be at Weeki Wachee Springs, at the mermaid shows. The mermaid performers had the worst quality mermaid tails I had ever seen, which you wouldn't expect because all around the park they have pictures of girls in silicone tails. But the actual performers that you actually go there to see have fabric tails that don't even have monofins in them. So I was severely disappointed when I went to Weeki Wachee Springs with my dad to see the mermaid shows. Especially because by then I already had this. So I was expecting a tail close to this quality because I recognized some of the tails were in fact Mertailor tails. So I was expecting a certain quality tails, and I got the exact opposite. I don't know where they get their tails, but they really should consider getting them from one of the brands I've mentioned today. Mertailor even sells infant tails. They're not for swimming. They're for photography, but they match the fabric tails that he sells. So the whole family can all have matching tails, and I think that would be super cute if someone did that. They all got mermaid tails, one for the baby, one for the children. One's for their children, and then one for mom and one for dad, and did like a mermaid family photo shoot. I totally want to do that one day when I have kids of my own and a husband who I can get to put on a merman tail, which shouldn't be that hard. Like, I would never marry someone who wasn't willing to put on a mermaid tail for the start, So I don't foresee any problems. The biggest problem I see would be trying to get a squirmy baby into a tail. But that's the biggest problem I foresee with, doing a mermaid photo shoot. And there are tons of different places where you can buy mermaid tails, but just keep in mind that quality matters. You can't just go and buy this one because it's the cheapest. Because if it's the cheapest, it's probably not going to be the best quality. And it's not going to last you very long. But if it's for little kids who are going to, be swimming in it and probably not be very careful with it and gentle with it, they're probably going to rub it up against the bottom of the pool or some concrete multiple times. It's easy just to stitch up a hole real quick, because your child is going to grow out of that tail and you're going to need to size up. So I would go for the cheaper ones in that case. But if you're nervous about safety, most of these tails on this list are safe to swim in. Granted, the child has mastered the dolphin kick. Now, the dolphin kick is really easy. The way you teach kids to do the dolphin kick is just pretend you have a mermaid tail. Pretend you are a mermaid. The way they train actors to swim in mermaid tails on shows like H2O from the early 2000s and Mako Mermaids, a spinoff of the H2O, from not too long ago. They started by teaching the actors the dolphin kick. Then they let them try with some fins, like some dive flippers. Then once they've mastered that, they move on to a monofin. And then finally, once they've mastered swimming with a monofin, they can put on their tails, which weigh about the same as my tail here, so about 30 pounds or 14 kilos for those of us watching who use the metric system, unlike us closed-minded Americans. And I'm allowed to say that because I'm American. I know what my people are like, and I do not like calling them my people. My people are mer people, not humans with disgusting, smelly feet and too dumb to realize that just wrapping something unhealthy in lettuce does not make it healthy. Because I've seen a surprising amount of people do that. They're like, what are you eating? Oh, it's a burger. It's like, that's You really shouldn't be eating that. That's really unhealthy. Your doctor told you to eat healthy. It's like, well, it's fine. I wrapped it in lettuce, so it's healthy. And I'm like, okay, this video went off topic. But yes, I am embarrassed by my own nationality, which is why I've decided to disassociate from them and become a mermaid. Being a mermaid is way more fun anyway. Now, to get into this tail, it's a bit harder than it is to get into the fabric tails, because it's not as forgiving, it's not as flexible of a material. And when I take it off after swimming, I have to pour all the water out of the tail, because this silicone traps the water in. It is fun, but it is a lot of work just to get it on and off. With the weight, with the fact that it's so snug and it's not very stretchy, it's a lot of work. A lot of times it helps if I lube up my legs, as weird as that sounds, with coconut oil. And I usually have someone else help me get into it. But when I don't have that, it's pretty difficult. And I have found that it helps if you get in the water first and you put it on while you're in the water. That way the water helps you slide into the tail easier. But I can't always do that, because if I'm in the ocean and I try doing that, I'll get a bunch of sand in my tail. Or the waves will drown me as I'm trying to put the tail on, and it's not the best idea. So if you're swimming in a pool, just put the tail on first when you're in the water. But if you're swimming in like the ocean, lube up your legs with coconut oil. And that's the best advice I can give you. Is lube. Oh, that sounds so weird. But strangely, not a sentence I never thought I'd say. I knew I'd say it eventually, when speaking of mermaid tails. If I wasn't speaking of mermaid tails, this video would be really weird, and then I never would have expected to say that sentence. But alright, that's about all I have to say today. So if you like this video, make sure to like, leave a comment maybe, and subscribe to the channel if you want more. I'm going to end this video here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!